All right. Here we are. Impact and Influence Radio right here on iHeart. And today's broadcast is brought to you by Blinds of Sacramento. Sacramento's complete solution window covering experts. Give them a call, 916-790-8689 or blindsofsacramento.com. Now, today, we've got Ifeoma Okwu. Ifeoma Okwu on today. And where are you from?
I grew up in Sacramento. So
okay.
I was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but grew up in Sacramento.
That is not a Baton Rouge name.
Oh,
Where's
you're
your
talking
family
about
from?
my origin.
Yeah,
Nigeria.
Nigeria?
Yeah, so I'm first generation.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That is so cool. So
Thank you.
At the Black Chamber the other day, we met, I don't remember his name.
Jay King?
No. Jake, everyone knows Jay.
Okay.
No, he was from Ghana. And the gentleman I was sitting with, I have his card.
I know who you're talking about.
But he was from Ghana.
Uh-huh.
And with the accent and the whole thing.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And I just love it. I don't know. I'm so fascinated with
biculture.
With African culture.
Yeah.
And the people are really pretty. I don't know what it is.
We'll take it.
I don't know what it is.
We'll take it.
No, I can't explain it. It's something that I'm completely foreign to.
Yeah.
And
you've got to visit.
It's awesome.
You've got to visit.
Have you been?
I have.
You go often?
Not often. No. But I've been. I think you would love it. I would go to Ghana if you were to go.
Uh-huh.
They're very welcoming.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, my wife's coworker, she visits I don't know where, but she goes to Africa every year, and she brings us back, all of us, it's back stuff. So we've got like all these little things around the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I just love this culture. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's just so cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
So your family is from there, I'm assuming.
They are, yeah. So they immigrated here, and then, like I said, I'm first generation, so first to be born and raised in
the States.
Yeah.
So my wife is from Uzbekistan.
Oh, okay.
And I was born in England.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But you weren't raised there, because I'm not hearing an accent.
I'm a military kid.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so you know, like, hey, the military, the Royal Air Force Base you hear about on the news and stuff right now because of the war and everything. Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Understood.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, I'll wear my Royal Air Force, I have a flight jacket that my dad gave me and stuff, and so I'm, like, afraid to wear any of that stuff right now because people don't know what any of that stuff means.
Right.
They just see fighter planes and war, and I'm like,
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to be talking about what you do today, the Embodied Wellness. And tell me, what do you do?
Yeah, so I am a dually board certified family nurse practitioner. I'm also a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. And I founded Embodied Wellness 5 years ago in 2021. And so we specialize in holistic centered medical weight loss. So really what that means is looking at underlying root cause issues that's impacting your weight and health. And for many people, I would argue it's issues pertaining to poor gut health and inflammation. So we look to restore the gut microbiome and really tailor treatments to serve people. And so holistic centered medical weight loss, and then wellness, which includes bioidentical hormone replacement therapy for men and women and men. So utilizing hormones that reflect your body's natural hormones. And then I also specialize in psychiatric mental health services.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
Let's start with the weight loss. Okay,
Yes.
So obviously diet and exercise is the first factor.
Is what comes to mind.
Yes.
Right.
Is that really the answer, or is it the gut health that's the reason why people gain weight? I mean, do people, because they eat like crap, is that the reason why they're gaining weight, or is it just they're not taking care of themselves inside out instead of outside in?
I would say it's I would consider all of it.
All of
really.
it. Okay.
Yeah. So you're gaining weight if you are consuming a lot of calories and you're not expending that energy,
okay.
Right? Like it's simple mathematics in terms of that. But when we think about where disease starts, right? So you've probably heard of Hippocrates. They call him the godfather of medicine. So
okay.
A very early Greek physician.
Now, is this where the hypocrite word hypocrite comes from?
That's interesting. That I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
But you've probably heard of the Socratic oath that doctors take, do no harm. It comes from Hippocrates. But in any case, godfather of medicine, and he coined the term, and this is probably not his exact language, but he says all disease starts in the gut. And so with that,
I've heard this.
Yes. And so when I talk about looking at underlying root cause issues, when we think about the ways in which we eat, or even certain, our environment and what we're exposed to, from a cellular level, when we think about the impact that it has on our health, we really need to be looking at our gut health, because if you have a poor gut health, it's going to essentially impact inflammation and then disease processes in the body.
Very interesting. Okay. Where did you get into this industry? I mean, did you go to school and you were like, oh, wow, I need to know more. I want to be a part of this. Did it fall into your lap, or was it like me with the audio thing? I just grew up in this industry, so I ended up in this industry.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. It wasn't something that I was taught in nursing school per se. No, there was not a lot of conversation about gut health. And I would argue that our modern science is really starting to appreciate the impact that our gut microbiome has on our health, probably within the last decade. And so I started nursing school, 11 years ago. So this was probably in its infancy. It was not something that was taught. It was more of a personal journey for me. So long story short,
most of us get sick, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, I need to learn more about this. And now you want to help people.
Well, long story short, I would say that 11 years ago, I was a newlywed. And I started grad school, and my then husband was also going into grad school, and I started to have irregular menstrual cycles. And so I went to my school clinic. They ran labs. I was 29 at this time. They looked at my reproductive hormones. And my reproductive hormones was that of a 50, 60 plus year old woman. So I was diagnosed with a condition called premature ovarian insufficiency, which is a fancy way of saying that your ovaries are essentially not producing working follicles, and so you don't ovulate.
Is that different than polycystic ovary?
That's completely different. PCOS is something that's completely different. But yeah, I was experiencing...
We have that in the family, that's why I asked.
And it's common, but I was experiencing menopause-like symptoms, and it was concerning because I was told that I wouldn't be able to have children, and I was a newlywed. And so I was on a quest. I was on a mission to understand why my body was doing this, because I was relatively a healthy person. I've always been pretty fit. I didn't understand what was happening. And so it led me down a path where I started to really evaluate the foods that I was putting in my body. And I was working with other health practitioners.
So this is where the passion comes in. You just don't want other people to deal with what you've dealt with.
Well, where it comes from is just understanding that there was a lot that I didn't understand, and there was a lot that I wasn't taught. And here I am in the, health field. And I just felt like if I was ignorant to this, I could only imagine what my patients are going through.
People have no idea.
Right, exactly. And so it just brought me on a quest.
And not even know where to start. Like if somebody came to me and said, okay, look, dude, the reason why you're gaining weight is because of this. What am I going to do different?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even know where to start. What am I going to start exercising? Am I going to, where do you start? And so, people sometimes they just feel helpless, and that's essentially where you would step in and say, look, we can help.
I think it also starts too with really appreciating what our bodies actually do for us. So when you start to have an understanding of okay, we talk about gut health, but what does that actually mean? Oh, okay, we have these microbes. Okay, what do they actually do for us? Wait, they do all these things for us? And so if we just feed them these foods, it could have this certain X amount of impact in terms of our health. It's like putting those little pieces together.
Have you met Crystal Dunn yet?
No.
Okay, so Crystal, she advertises in the magazine. This is why this is important here. I'm already selling you. I haven't even started yet. Crystal Dunn, The Power of Food. So she does an article literally talking about the importance of putting the right foods, and she grows all of her own food.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and so every time I call her, she's out in the field, plowing and doing what she's doing.
Yeah.
And that's her whole thing. And then have you met Carlin yet? So Carlin's going to be on the cover of next month, but let me find you Carlin. I don't think her picture's in here. But she does an article. She does a recipe every month, and it's about. So her whole thing is helping young moms get their diet in order. That way that their kids can have their diet in order.
Sure.
And so I need to introduce you to these people, and just amazing people.
Yeah.
Incredible. And it's awesome what I learned just talking to people like yourself. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And yet I still eat like crap.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna take. Probably a really serious health scare. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. Right. All right. So hormone replacement therapy. Talk to me about this.
I specialize in bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. So bioidentical meaning that we are utilizing hormones that mimic your body's natural, what we call endogenous hormones, what your body naturally produces. And so it's replenishing your hormones. As we age, our hormones fluctuate and they decline. And so for women, when you're going through perimenopause, menopause, hot flashes, night sweats, all of that, those are just signs that your estrogen and progesterone have declined. And not everyone needs to be on hormone replacement therapy. That is not what I'm here to say. But if you are having bothersome symptoms and they're moderate to severe in nature and lifestyle alone is not enough, then, having a conversation with your healthcare provider that looks at the possibility of hormone replacement could be maybe beneficial for you. And then for men, you've heard of low T, low testosterone. And so you guys experience symptoms as well.
I think it's, what is it? I think it's 1% per year or something, isn't it?
That's what they say. Yeah. Something along those lines.
I noticed it was weird. Are you over 40 yet?
I am 40.
Okay. Did you feel weird, like different, like within like a week or two or a month of turning 40? I heard it's different for women.
Not for me.
I heard it's different for women, but men, everyone I talk to, it's not that we're like, oh, we're older. Our bodies feel different. It's not like, oh, I have less energy. Our personalities change. Our temperament changes. What interests us changes. Like I used to drive Porsches. I drive a Buick. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to have designer watches where I didn't feel like I was complete. I'm not even wearing a watch. The point is, it's like as we get older, something changes in us. And I'm assuming that's that testosterone thing where just our minds are different.
Well, there are many variables, but hormones like your sex hormones certainly play a role in it. And yes, I mean, testosterone does a lot for men. It helps with brain health. It helps with just energy. You feel less fatigue. You have more stamina. There's increased muscle mass, your mood. There's so much that your hormones actually do for you. And so when there is a decline, and certainly when it crosses a certain threshold, so for men, like under 300, you are typically going to be symptomatic.
What does that look like? Because I am, if you go back and watch old episodes, like from 10, 12 years ago of the show, you could see just the energy, and I was a completely different person. I spoke 1,000,000 miles an hour. I had the ego the size of the room. They used to say I drove a convertible because my ego didn't fit in a normal car. I'm dead serious. And then as I've just gotten older, it's almost like I just don't give a crap anymore. I'm just chill.
Sure.
And like if the client doesn't show up, I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's like, It's just different. I don't know if that's maturity. I don't know.
I was going to say, I mean, it could be maturity too. Like I'm not here to place all, changes to just hormones alone, but it does play a role is what I'm trying to say.
You're the boss in this.
Yeah.
That's why we're even talking about it.
It plays a role. And so, I mean, for certain men, where again, if your symptoms are bothersome and it's impacting your quality of life, your ability to function in your life, then there are options for you. And I'm here to talk about those options.
I think that what's funny is my life is more balanced now than it's ever been. doing less
Yeah.
and having less
Yeah.
is way more balanced than going crazy and chasing and just
Yeah.
spazzing out all the time.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff. Okay, so where do you want to take this business? Where do you see it going? Now I'm putting you on the spot.
That is, you are putting me on the spot. You are putting me on the spot. You know, I would say just scaling kind of where I'm at. So right now
One
we
foot in front of
service,
the other.
yeah. So right now we service those who live in the state. So we're a telehealth practice. So all of our visits are done virtually over our video
That's
platform.
great.
Yeah. So we're able to reach, people, within the entire state of California. And then we also service those who live in the state of Washington as well. So really just expanding within those two states is what I see myself doing, and having people really understand an alternative way to health and wellness that may be beneficial for them.
Very, very interesting. TheEmbodiedWellness.com, 916-594-2478, 916-594-2478. What else do you want to add before we get out of here?
I just, I really wanted to just kind of let your viewers understand, again, just harping on gut health, because I feel like I said, within the last decade, we've really been talking about that. When we think about your hormones, your gut microbiome plays a part in that. They help metabolize and regulate your hormones. When we think about, weight gain in general, right? So obesity in the clinical state, in the clinical sense, is an inflammatory state. And I know that that's a controversial statement, but that's what it is.
Does it start with our food?
It's certainly, yes.
Or is it stress? Is it lifestyle?
It's a number of things. So food for sure, stress as well, because you're increasing cortisol levels.
I was getting ready to say
Yes,
that.
you're increasing cortisol levels, which then can have impacts on your hormones and your metabolism. Certain products and things that we use, like, which can, there are certain products that can be endocrine disruptors, is what we call them. And so they impact our hormone levels, et cetera. So yeah, it's a multitude of things. I wouldn't just say food alone, but food is a huge driver, because when you eat, where is it going?
Yeah.
Into your digestive
and we
tract.
eat crap. And we eat crap.
And we do eat crap.
We all eat crap. And it's like, oh, well, you got to buy your food at this store. It's still crap.
Right, exactly. So yeah, so I think working with a healthcare provider that really understands kind of what to look out for and to help restore the gut is key here. So fiber is huge. And I would argue that the vast majority of Americans are deficient in fiber.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I think about what I eat, and it's funny because I keep going back to fast food, but I don't eat that much fast food. I really don't.
Okay.
Couple times a week, maybe if I'm on my way somewhere and I'm in a hurry. But mostly we cook at home, and usually I have a ham sandwich. My wife will make me a ham sandwich with some bread that we got, a nice, I don't know what kind of bread, like a brioche bun type bread, that we got at Trader Joe's. But then I read the article this week that's saying that deli ham is now a level 1 carcinogen or something, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, yeah, it's all crap.
Yeah.
It's all garbage.
Yeah.
Like, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, you have to grow and kill your food. Yeah, but they're eating pesticides and crap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't say that they're all crap. I think that we do have options, but yeah, we do have to be mindful. And I'm even having these conversations, I'm also mindful, from like a socioeconomic sort of standpoint. There are certain people who live in environments where they have food deserts, and so they have to make do the best way that they can. And so I'm sensitive to that, but yes, the foods that we eat certainly do have an impact. And so, like I said, increasing your fiber intake could go a long way, because your gut microbiome, they feed off of fiber.
When I grew up, I grew up in a really abusive home. And so we didn't have, despite of what my parents would say, we didn't have food. We had boxed macaroni and cheese, and we had 39-cent McDonald's cheeseburgers. That's what we ate.
Yeah.
Taco Bell and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so my wife's family, they grow all their own food. Mm-hmm. And why do they grow their own food? Because when they came over here from Uzbekistan, there were no grocery stores, so they had to grow their food, or they didn't eat.
Yeah.
They had chickens, and then of course they would kill the chicken and make chicken.
Right.
And so when my wife cooks, she cooks one meal for me and cooks one meal for her, because my palate is. I don't like a lot of food. And so my wife will make me pasta, which I like lots of pastas, or a burger, or we'll make some homemade Chinese food or something like that, which is, I guess, better than going out to eating the garbage. But my wife, she's eating, potatoes that they grew and tomatoes that they grew and all these different veggies and blah, 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 blah. But in Russian culture is funny because everything gets soaked in mayonnaise. I don't know if you know that or not, which is terrible for you. Yeah. But so, their whole thing is you got to grow it fresh, but then dip it in mayonnaise. Right. But again, the point is I don't have that palate that I'm like, okay, I want to eat this or I want to eat this. It's just like,
what's interesting about that is that your gut microbes, influence your palate.
Interesting.
And so if you grew up eating a certain way, what are you really doing? You're feeding your gut microbiome. And so they're dictating what it is that they want to eat. And so if you are wanting to change your palate, you have to start on a micro level and change your gut microbiome.
Dude, I've got to get you and Crystal in a room. You two would love each other. Seriously. You got to hear her recording where we're talking about the food and she's just completely making fun of me for 40 minutes, which is hilarious. Oh, it was wonderful. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's amazing. No, but seriously, I got to get the two of you guys together. So I'll find out when she's going to be at the next event, find out when you're and see if we can get the two of you guys together.
Sure.
No, amazing. You two need to talk.
Yeah.
The embodiedwellness.com, 916-594-2478. Ifeoma Okwu.
Yes. There you
go. Yeah.
Second time's a charm.
Yeah. I want to thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely awesome stuff. And I want to thank everyone for listening, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.